I don't know what that is. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another HEX Futures live stream. This is a Taco Tuesday without tacos. I guess we're fat. We need to lose weight. This guy's a vegan, actually. This guy is Hex Taurus on Twitter. I am Eco Builder on Twitter. We are both Hex OGs, and we live in the same vicinity as each other. So he was just in the area and gonna join me for this stream. Taurus here has huge ambitions of reaching out to folks and doing a podcast, right? You want to do a podcast and live stream? Let's figure out a good way to where both of us can be heard in this microphone without me setting up another microphone. I was just talking about the complications of OBS and StreamYard and having a good enough computer and good enough cameras and stuff like that. And so I set up a light over here. We've got one camera going on. I don't have another camera set up yet or in this setup, but we just wanted to chat about, or at least I thought we would chat about Taurus's ambitions of being more vocal here in the future. I know that a lot of people have looked at Pulse Chain and they're just like, yeah, when Pulse Chain comes out, I'm going to have so much more to talk about, this complete ecosystem. So I have seen the increase of people with live streams or outreach, and I'm interested to find out like ways that I could help you. So I have been asking you to join me on this stream here or Twitter Spaces, or later on we're gonna check out what the Bitcoiners are doing, the Austin Bitcoin meetup. And you've got a studio space of your own, which I'm so enticed. Like I really want to see this place and do something in it with you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Can you tell me like what is in your perspective? Do you have like titles? Do you have landing pages?
So I'm working on some landing pages. I do have some working titles. So the plan is basically right now here in the bear market, you can see how it's going in the community, not just Hex community, but also just the crypto community.
Mm-hmm.
And so thought process behind it is kind of like, all right, people's spirits are down, but we need more voices now than ever, to kind of bring that spirit back up. Okay. So I'm thinking, the plan to go on stream has been a plan in the making for the past 2 years. Getting on stream has been a little daunting. Wasn't necessarily wanting to put my face out there like that, but I feel like this is more important than myself, and we got to get the information out there. And so I was thinking that, me going on stream is just going to be one more voice to add to kind of like that ball going down that snowball going down the mountain. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger with people talking about HEX. And yeah, I just want to make this either a big ball or a big wave that's coming. The wave's getting bigger, the ball's getting bigger of people talking about HEX and putting that organic information out there for people to, to know about.
All right.
And so with that, we have a big community in HEX of streamers. And it was like, okay, what value could I bring to this community, And so the idea is to have a couple different shows. One show with like in studio. So at my studio, I'm planning to have anywhere from 1 to 6 people that can come in, and we can actually have a panel and have some nice Discord about different topics. And then, so that'd be like one show. I plan on having another show talking about health and wellness. So I'm actually a certified yoga therapist with specialty in sound therapy. And so I want to bring some of these principles and stuff to people that don't know about any of these things.
Okay.
So that would be another aspect of a show. I have another show that I would like to do with a lady. with men, women, dating, sex, and relationships, talking about topics of these things.
I remember you saying that. Okay.
And then also just have a show just with myself and talking about things that are important to me, mostly talking about don't take central banking digital currencies. And what was another one I was wanting to do? I'm wanting to read some books.
That's fascinating.
I think are important. That's like some really deep information there that, I'll read and people can do what they want with,
Yeah.
And so these are kind of the different aspects that I'm looking at kind of incorporating.
Do you think you would read it live and then
read live?
Oh, really?
There's small chapters.
Oh, okay.
So just read like a little chapter and then maybe talk a little bit about it. And maybe it's a short stream, maybe a 20-minute, 30-minute little thing or something. And then just get that information out there. And now it's, I know these days a lot of people, when it comes to reading, it's like maybe they'd rather have an audiobook. So this could be a way to have some type of audiobook that's not actually an audiobook, but it is me reading something, and these books that I'll be reading are the materials out there. It's not going to be something that most people would probably ever even think about reading.
Okay.
So it's going to be some information that,
it's like out there.
It's out there.
Yeah. So you'll have to really pay attention and offer your mind up to these subjects.
Yeah. Come to the stream with an open mind and an open heart.
Yeah. Sweet.
And, no expectations, but.
So something kind of parallel to that is like, I find myself with a Wild SJ's shorts where she takes the quotes from Richard's book and reads it out in front of the camera, and I'll digest, like I intently digest what it is that she has to say, because I'm respecting that she went through all this time to present this to me.
For sure.
So, what is it to me? Here it is. This is the quote of the day. Or maybe like last night, I saw that there were 3 notifications. Then I give her the time of all 3 of those quotes and what are they to me.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, also, because we know those quotes are coming from Richard. So, just kind of relaying that information that Richard originally had put out there, which personally, I know Richard's, we want him to stay busy getting Pulse ready for us, but, I think he needs to maybe revisit his own words.
Okay.
And, start looking at his health and get his health right so that he can be here to enjoy all the great gains that are coming, because, Richard, we want him to be here.
But hey, as opposed to other Hexicans who I have heard health defects with, Richard, I haven't heard any health defects with. So
that's true. That's true.
So whatever he's got going on, I think is all right.
He's eating that European food.
Who here has written Richard a DM that has to do with food? Me. I have.
I have too.
I've made food suggestions.
But it's only because, we care for him, we want him to be his best self,
Yeah. So. He was just like noted with mine.
Oh,
I was like, hey man, you could whip up some, what is it? Quinoa. You could easily whip up some quinoa, 20 minutes, and then cover it and, take it off the burner, 10 minutes, take it off the burner, 20 minutes, it's ready. And then open up a can of Amy's organic soup or whatever, Amy's Organics. And that would be it. It would be so cheap and easy. Those 2 things paired together. And he was like, okay, noted.
Poor man's way to eat well. Thing is, if I had Richard's money, I would just pay for the people to get me in shape and do, make the food that I needed. And, it wouldn't even be a thought process for me if I had Richard's money, it would just all be set out there for me, like there's people like Ty Lopez, man, where you see it, the transformations he's done, he pays for the people to give him the information he needs to make the transformations.
Okay.
And you're physically seeing his transformations live, because he's doing them. And I just think anybody that has that kind of money, it's like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. You can pay for the chef to make you the foods that are going to make you healthy.
Okay.
You know, so when it comes to Richard, I don't really see any excuses for that. It's like, yeah, I know you're busy, but that's why you pay for the chef to make your food.
All right, that's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to reach out to a local chef and say, hey, can you line out some meals for me? Like maybe 4 meals out of a week.
Yeah.
Because I eat out quite a bit and my parents are here in town. So I like to spend time with them. My godfather's here in town. You know, people like yourself come through town and we eat together. So, but about 4 or 3 days a week, I definitely could like fall back on somebody's advice. That'd be a lot of fun.
Well, and if you have a group thing, you know, when the chef comes in, they're already coming in knowing, hey, I'm making for 6 people today, and that's what they're going to buy. The main benefit of this is 2 things. One, they can get organic food.
Mm-hmm.
This is really big right now, and I want people to understand this. If you're not eating organic food, at least here in America, then you're probably eating a genetically modified food, and that genetically modified food is not going to assimilate properly in the body. You do this enough times, things are going to start mutating in the body. When you get like DNA mutation, this is when you get things like cancer and degenerative diseases. So when you have the chef come in, they can make sure they're only buying organic food. So you're getting organic food, and then they're making the food with love. Yes. Another big one. And then a third thing we can add on top of that is they're going to make the food you want. So for me personally, yes, I'm a plant-based eater. So they're going to be making plant-based options for me, organic with love. And for me, this is the best way to eat.
Sweet. Yeah. So, hey, what's up, Garten? What's up, Tin Top? So, question then. I'm seeing a lot of 3D printed meat. I'm seeing a lot of war on the farms. I'm seeing the possibility of a vaccine going to a cow and then coming out in its milk, and everybody who then drinks the milk is like pre-vaccinated. I don't know.
Well, you're working with the mRNA, and the mRNA is a mutation of the DNA. And this is, I mean, this conversation can go much deeper and get more into like esoteric things and stuff like this. But
are we having a huge farm divide right now?
We are. You know, obviously, since I'm a plant-based eater, okay, I don't eat meat any longer. How that came to be was I started doing education around human digestion. And through that knowledge, I came to the conclusion that I don't think I should be eating meat. So I stopped eating meat in 2013. So I'm going on 10 years now where I haven't been eating meat. And what I think's happening is, you know, for the people that didn't get pressured enough to take the vaccination, this is a way for them to still alter things within you against necessarily. See, you have the free will. You know that the meat is going to be injected. So you have the free will to eat that meat still or not, right? Just like when your job was telling you, hey, you can't come back to work unless you're vaccinated. I know that's a lot of pressure. I get that. I know the system put a lot of pressure on you, but you still had that free will choice to say, you know what? I'm not going to come work here anymore.
Because nobody made you do these things.
Right. Gosh. And so the whole thing with the meat right now, it's not just the meat, right? We have the food processing plants that have been going up in flames and
right,
all these other things that are affecting our food. And, you know, if you do any research out there, it looks like there's an agenda being played out right now, an agenda to have less people on the planet. So if there's less food, that helps in the agenda, right? Also,
I also see it as kind of like a segregation. It's like you've read the book, The Brave New World.
I haven't read that book. No.
Oh man,
it's a good one.
So yeah, it's a 1984 type thing.
Oh, okay.
Where in the future they have incubated peoples, and they only live for the lifespan of like 30 years, mm-hmm. and then they're euthanized. And there are certain people, professors in that organization that oversee the whole thing, and they're the only people who can live past 30. And then there are wild people out in the lands.
Okay.
Woo. And so I kind of see them as like I envision them as like Navajo or something, like these people who kept their roots and didn't adopt any of the technology, so therefore do without. And so those are, which one do you want? Do you want all the pleasures and everything of the technologies, or do you want to go out there and live on your own and have it to where everybody inside of this pleasure fest doesn't think anything like you? And here you are, in blissfulness of God's creation, and you're the lesser in this instance. If these people inside the city, or if this organization wants to do anything to you, they're able to. So
They're kind of like the outcast.
these people are the outcast,
Right.
yeah, but they're the ones who chose to keep it pure.
But they're living in the natural law, basically.
Yeah.
And so how I see that is
I don't want to be a
ant.
lesser as they're dividing and we're taking the higher moral road. I don't want to be the lesser.
Yeah. Well, when we had the Industrial Revolution occur, when we took people from the farms and put them into the city, there was a trade for that. And that trade for convenience is your privacy and your freedom, right? So when we came into the city, you didn't have to be accountable to the land now to make your food, right? Because now you just go to the grocery store and there's a farmer out there that's doing that for you now, right? But to what extent, right? As we've seen it to where we are now, slowly more of our privacy and more of our freedom has been slowly taken away for this convenience that we have. And how I see it currently is I'm an ant that knows I'm in the ant farm. The ant farm's nice, but I know I'm inside it. And I don't necessarily want to be inside it. And so if we go back to the movie like The Matrix, that little pod you were talking, that 30-year thing, that was basically the pod Neo was in. He was in that little pod that he was hooked up to, that they were just basically extracting energy from this person as a battery, because we are electric beings. It's all about electricity. These electrons. That's why it's so important for us to get onto the earth and do grounding.
Yeah.
To replenish the electricity.
Yeah. Take your shoes off, take your rubber soles off and put your feet on the ground, or lay down in your front yard, or do some push-ups or something like that. Really get that ground connection.
1 hour is basically what you want.
Ooh.
And
okay.
so 1 hour of regulating with the earth. What I've seen is they've shown platelets of the blood, like microscopic. And so an ungrounded person, it was showing that it was like the blood platelets were just kind of fuzzy on the screen. And then once they reached grounding, it was like there was no more fuzziness. Everything was secure and stable again. And there's now a bunch of research out there dealing with grounding and stuff. But, inflammation's a huge thing right now. And, the American people, you're eating foods that are causing inflammation, and then your body's not grounded, which is increasing the inflammation, and then what do people want to do? They want to take some pharmaceutical medications that are also going to have side effects. And you're just stacking on just a lower quality of life, basically, So you can get into that lower quality of life and get comfortable to where you don't even
know that there's a higher.
Yeah.
You forgot what it was like.
You're now comfortable in the pain. It's just your everyday now.
So I've started doing a lot of things, and I've noticed a huge difference between my old self and myself now. And I was just thinking about this earlier. I was walking into my shower, which is bathtub shower, and I was just thinking there's no little thing in my head that reads my back strain anymore that says, oh, that's too much work. Oh, that's too much bending over. Oh, I don't want to do that right now, because I would literally, be shaving off my energy as it is, or my motivation as it is, that I would feel all the little things in my lower back, because I had so many back issues from bad diet, and inappropriate use of my functions because I was sitting at a computer for 3 years, working overtime as much as possible to save my money to then jump from corporate ship so that I could then protect myself from a financial collapse that I thought was going to happen because my government was being irresponsible with money.
It did happen.
But here we are 10 years later with the same run-on story of finances, blah, blah, blah. So thank you, Richard Hart, for allowing me to breathe. Thank you, HEX community, for being here with me and being side by side, another number of me. So the guy who just popped up on the screen is facing reality. He's out of the Netherlands, and he talks about these same subjects with me often. So this is Taurus. This is facing reality.
Good evening, Taurus. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I've actually been to Amsterdam twice, so I've been in that a couple times.
All right.
Nice. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I love it out there.
So Taurus is, well, my vision for what I can relay to Taurus is like, hey, check out these Twitter spaces that we're always in and having these conversations with people around the world. Hey, come to the HEX Guild meeting tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Central time, and meet everybody in there and get into the conversation there, because we are thinking about organic hexacos being created around the world so that hexicans can figure out where it is that they want their placement to be, what feels comfortable to them, and hopefully it'll be an autonomous type zone or something, a hexican zone where everybody gets along because of one common interest. I don't know.
Well, going back to what you were talking about, getting in the shower and saying there's nothing there, like forewarning you about, that lower back pain that you've acquired through, let's say, bad movement patterns and stress.
I would literally leave things, or let's just give an example. I would leave things on the floor over there or over there, over there, because that was an appropriate placement, but I didn't want to pick it up because I would think about I don't know what it was. It's like back ache and reading my back 24/7. Like whenever I wake up, is it going to be a good day or a bad day? Let me check with my back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Silly stuff.
So through yoga therapy, what we do with this is so a yoga therapist, what you would do is you'd come in and we would ask you a bunch of questions about your life, see what's going on, right? So you would say, I have this back pain, right? So what we do in that instance is we have to raise our awareness around that, right? So like you're saying, what is your movement pattern when you get in the car? Is that pattern hurting your back more? Or are you supporting? Are you going into the car in a way that's supporting that?
Okay.
So we move a lot in life in unconscious ways that aren't supporting our body. And you do that enough, and next thing you know, now my hip's hurting over here. And it's like, well, why is that happening? Well, it's because, when you're standing there doing dishes, you're locking out the right knee and you're just standing there, and over time now you've created something, but this, what I'm saying is just daily life chores. You're moving unconsciously in these patterns. And next thing you know, now you have a hurt right hip,
So as far as my back issue, oh my gosh, dishes were the worst, man. And then there's also you're in a rent house that you're not going to update for your posture. So you have to deal with it day after day. But yeah, leaning over the dishes, terrible situation.
So there's a couple things that you could do with that, though. We could say, one, when you are standing there, make sure you have a nice balance on both your feet where the weight is evenly distributed. Have a slight bend in the knees. Don't lock the knees out. This is actually going to make it worse on your back when you lock the knees out. And then 2 or 3, when you are leaning over, when you lean like this, see if I can get in the camera. When you lean like this, what happens is we have gravity coming down, right? So if you're standing straight up, in essence, your spine is now straight. So it's able to support the gravity hitting it.
Okay.
But when you bend at the waist, now we have gravity hitting you here, like at the back of the neck and in the middle of the spine.
Yeah.
And so that's going to cause more weight on your back because now you're not in a stable stance to support the gravity, so just be aware of that when you are leaned over. How long are you leaned over for? Maybe you need to bend the knees a little more to give you that bend support, just different things. Or, if you have enough money, you can
I
pay
just
for a
don't do
maid
dishes anymore.
to do your
Been there, done that.
Yeah. What's up with you facing reality? How are you today?
I'm great. We are all excited, but that's for different reasons. So yeah.
It's pretty late up there right now, right? Like, what time is
He's
it?
probably just waking up.
Well, it's
It's
quarter
1
to two
o'clock,
in the in the
2
morning.
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Club's
Hadn't
just getting
gone
out.
yet. No, this is a family man we're talking to.
Oh yeah.
What's up, academiated?
No. Yeah, in about what is it? 4 days? 3 days. My oldest is turning 17. So
Oh wow, y'all do anything special?
no, not really. We funny enough, we don't really celebrate birthdays.
Yeah, I mean it's no big deal if you do or don't. I was just wondering if y'all had
Yeah.
anything planned
No,
or
no,
just doing something out of the ordinary.
no, not really. She gets her presents, whatever she wants, but that's about it. We don't
Yeah,
really stand still by time. Let's put it
right.
like that. Yeah,
I believe that I'm coming in the consciousness of reverse aging.
exactly. Mind over matter.
Yeah, we're coming into a very special point in time with consciousness and the human beings and where our consciousness is going. It's very exciting times, actually.
I could not agree more.
Do you have a Telegram group? Do you have a group already set up?
Nah, no groups yet.
Okay.
No groups. Just ideas,
Okay.
The plan is just to seed these ideas into people's minds, and then the rest will take care of itself.
Okay. Cool. What do you think about the people who maybe won't come along for the ride of this change of consciousness?
The thing about it is, it doesn't matter whether you want to or not. It's happening. Consciousness, the global consciousness shift that's occurring is occurring regardless whether you want it to or not, whether you are helping it happen or not. Because, and this is my belief, but what religious texts talk about, specifically Christianity, we talk about the second coming of Christ, right? Saving his children and yada, yada, yada. How I see it as, what we're actually waiting on is the second coming of Christ's consciousness. And this is the consciousness that will go across everyone on the planet. And once we go into that consciousness, our standard of living and things will automatically change and will become to a higher standard. So the way we're living right now won't exist anymore. Our standard will be above that. So it doesn't matter, like the people that are, the exact opposite of that doesn't matter, because this consciousness is coming whether we want it to or not. And this is actually, it's been set in time. We have the Mayan calendar, we have the different religious texts. We also have other texts out there that don't pertain to religion, but also talk about the same thing. We're coming to this very specific point in time where this shift is going to occur. And from one of the texts that I'm going to read, what they say is why there's so many people right now on the planet is because they know this is happening and they wanted to be here to witness it.
Okay.
And so, that makes a lot of sense to me, because if you could be alive during the time of Christ consciousness coming, and the chaos that's happening in the world right now. So imagine a different world with clean air, clean water, clean soil. I mean, for me, this is, we're going back now to the garden, right? The garden of pureness, where no matter what you put into your body, it's going to assimilate properly, and you're not going to have to worry about it causing inflammation or giving you a degenerative disease, which ultimately is either going to lower your quality of life or end your life. to where now you don't get to enjoy this experience of being a human, which is very wonderful, to get to touch, smell, taste, see, to sense, to have emotions. This is a very special thing. And so when you can realize that being in the experience, then, maybe you can understand how important little small things in life are and how special they are. And then maybe come out of a depressed state, realizing that, hey, I am here to experience hate, anger, and sadness, because in these other experiences that we have, we might not get to experience those kind of things. So that's why we come here, because we get that option. And so when you can realize that you have that special option, it's like, man, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe now I can see the beauty in that state when I'm down. It's like, oh, I came here to experience that. And how wonderful, how beautiful. And then now experience it. But then now we get to transmute that into love and happiness, and then get to experience that, And so it's just being human, it's a very special experience, and I hope people understand that, however you become to that understanding. For me, that understanding hit real hard watching some Star Trek episodes, actually. Star Trek.
Okay.
Because you had Spock, where he's like this hybrid human, but his attitude is just he's like monotone, and serious and everything, right? And in one of the episodes, he has this very old entity take over his body. And then this episode's amazing because Spock's acting literally transforms. He has to be this other thing. And he's like, wow. He's like, I can touch and feel. And it's just such a special experience to have. And he's portraying this through the acting. And it's just like, wow. It's like, man, it is so special to get to have the human experience. And it's like, I feel for people, that don't understand this, and this is one thing that I'm hoping, knowledge that we can bring through these live streams. It's like, if just one person gets that knowledge, then it's like, oh, wow. And it can give them this like transformational shift to where now they can enjoy life a little more. And then that's amazing.
Academia Atiated said, OG Star Trek has all answers to life. Seriously.
That's why they shut it down after 3 seasons. They couldn't let that information out there anymore. They were like, nah.
Garden says, take care of your garden and your garden will take care of you.
Mother Earth is the best gardener, and man tries to come in and do it better.
Yeah.
And that's just not the case. We're
going to put it in rows.
What's that?
I'm going to put it in rows.
Yeah. We're relearning that Earth knows best for the things that grow on Earth. It's really amazing to watch humans think they can do it better than nature.
Yeah.
And all we do is wreck ourselves.
Oh, I discovered this.
Yeah.
I discovered something. Well, great. It's already been in use.
Yeah.
I believe we found a new HEX guild member.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. You'll see me showing up.
He's just been chilling.
I've been in the background hanging out. But like I said, this is
I met him at the first Vegas meetup.
Was it?
Nice.
With
the karaoke one?
I thought it was the first one.
Actually, yeah, it was the first meetup because
the karaoke,
the KSB team did their tour after the first meetup. So because I did see you again at the Austin KSB meetup as well.
Yeah, the 5555 tour.
Yeah.
Of the states where they went to 42 cities, I think.
Insane.
That's
I was actually thinking it'd be pretty cool to go join them on the European tour.
Yeah.
I
know a lot of Americans who want to do a tour here in the States.
Well, we got RG3 now taking over. So KSB was going to do the Pulse Chain tour. So now what they're doing, they did a pivot. Now KSB is going to be doing a European Pulse Chain tour. And now RG3 with SJ and a big crew there. Now they're going to be taking over the Pulse Chain tour. And yeah, I think they're doing...
He's employed SJ to be his secretary. So anybody interested in getting more info, just a wild SJ.
Yeah, they have a lot of
For the
information out
European
there.
tours there.
No, for the American. The
Oh,
European
okay.
tour go through Crypto's Starbuck and
Yeah.
KSB and Abit. Those folks. Maybe they'll have the few Germans that they had with them. Sticker Guy probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sticker Guy, Abe, it'll be Mars and that whole
Mars.
team, man. Yeah, they got a nice crew.
Yeah.
I'll be at least 2 of the European ones. Got everything booked already, so at least 2 I'll be there.
Nice. Yeah, that would have been cool to go to the party that Richard threw.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I didn't get to make that.
There would be more in the future. I think what was
Yeah.
happening was fucking vaccine mandates at the
Yes.
time.
Yeah, for
right?
me, that was kind of the situation. Even right now with the Miami meetup, I actually had desire to go out there and do that, but with Pulse launching any moment, I wanted to be around the house.
Yeah.
So just in case, it launches, I didn't want to be in Florida at the time,
I read some guy's tweet late last night, and he was like, "I just saw the update. I can't sleep. It's already so late here, and I can't go to sleep. It's like 4:00 in the morning. He's in Florida, and he just couldn't go to bed because Richard had just woken up and given an update."
Yeah, because you don't know when Richard's going to drop it.
Or it was like that whole thing where like they updated the test net, or they were syncing it or
Mhm.
something.
Yeah.
There was a huge update just last night, and everybody was like, yeah, just 30 minutes ago they did something. 16 minutes ago they did something.
Yeah, and
And we
in
just
a way,
had a big update again.
Yeah, in a way, it's
Awesome.
been a little bit. I'm going to say the word
Suck it,
stressful.
haters.
It's been a little bit stressful in a sense of as far as like, when the announcement first came out with Pulse, it was like 2 months, and we're like, okay. And then it's just been this long drag out where it's, you keep thinking, okay, now, and then no, not now, but now, and then it just kind of keeps you on your toes, a lot.
Yeah.
And I can understand where, we were talking about this before the stream, some people can they can lose their excitement around it, but you have 2 people right here that have never lost any hope in Richard. We're here full force. We support you, Richard, and we're excited to see what you're building.
And we're not sleeping on it either, because I don't know if you slept on HEX, but I never slept on HEX.
No, when I found out about HEX, it made perfect sense to me. There was
but as you were waiting for HEX to launch, did you like go away and come back?
Well,
because I continued to like check for the updates in the HEX crypto Telegram.
Yeah.
And like I stopped reading all the messages and would just like pan down, because the thing gets flooded and you don't need every little bit. Like basically what was happening was I was new to Twitter and I was new to Telegram, or maybe I wasn't even on Twitter at that time, and I was just new to Telegram, and I thought that I needed to know everything. But once I had like a full digestion of what all was happening, then I would just visit Telegram every day, rather than visiting it every week or month and not getting the update that Richard had just launched HEX on December 2nd.
Yeah. Sadly, I actually wasn't around for that.
Okay.
Fortunately, I got told right after Big Payday. So for me, fortunate, when I say fortunate, is because at least I know about HEX.
Yeah.
Because I could still be roaming around here and not know about HEX.
Right.
So I learned about it right after Big Payday. And for me, it just made sense because I found out about crypto in 2014. A buddy of mine told me about Bitcoin. I looked into it, and I basically had like a premonition of the future. I was like, okay, here's our future money, and, I did what I could with the Bitcoin at the time. But when I got into Bitcoin, I was already getting in with the HEX mentality. So when I first got in, my mentality was, I'm holding this for 20 to 30 years. And I'm thinking the value of this is going to be between 150 and 300,000. That was my original thoughts when I found out about Bitcoin in 2014.
Okay.
If we look what's happened, it's on par for that.
Yeah.
Now, what disrupted that was I found out about HEX.
Okay.
So when I found out about HEX, I looked into it and I was like, okay, this makes sense. And so I moved a little bit over. About 3 days later, after more looking into it and letting it, digest in my mind, I was like, this is the move, you know? And so I did the things necessary and, here we are today. Yeah.
So I'm still interested to cover more stuff about like your studio that you have set up in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Are you always going to have it to where people visit you and y'all go through like what's happening locally, or are you going to have it to where like you're reaching out to like well-known people who
Like interview type stuff that people do, or
yeah, are you
I didn't actually have plans to do interview stuff, to be honest.
okay?
Yeah.
All right.
If that organically happens or something,
So
we'll throw it in there. But
so your audience might be people from Austin.
I know a bunch of people also that aren't in HEX. And so they're interested, they know about me and know about the information that I like to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So there are people that are interested in tuning in that aren't tuning in for HEX stuff. And I actually had an idea of it, maybe even doing some stuff with local bands, have the
Okay.
band come in, we can talk about some stuff. They can plug themselves, maybe a little promotional stuff for bands and maybe doing something like that. That's still just an idea, but because I'm making a space to where we can have multiple people come in with multiple mics, it makes this an opportunity to do stuff like that.
Okay.
And really, I think it'd be nice. So for like when the Pulse Chain group comes to town, we can all go into studio and we can talk, and it'll be really nice, I think.
Yeah.
So it's just to be able to make a studio to where, when the HEX community comes to town, here's a spot we can come to, whether it's down in Austin or we can come up here to your spot and do things up here, or, vice versa. And just having that community come together and make these places. That's here, you got DC out in Vegas, he has a spot out there now.
Okay.
Dollar Cost Crypto. Have you seen his?
I see what you're saying now. Okay.
Spot out there, and
DCC is out.
Yeah. DCC.
I thought you were saying yeah, never mind.
Yeah. So he just opened up his spot out there, which is real nice. He has a beautiful studio over there.
Okay.
And I'm thinking not before too long, we'll probably have something in Miami. We got a lot of
my gosh,
big Miami HEX
yeah.
community out there.
Hey, all of you Floridians, start a damn Telegram group so that you guys can meet up. Like I really do think that that's what y'all are missing. Let's see what else. Outreach and audience. Okay, so something that I've been thinking about lately is like I've been studying mailers, and I would love to sponsor somebody who's doing something to get there to be like a call of action. All you have you checked out this guy's YouTube channel? Here he is, bright and shiny dude for you to follow if you're interested in learning about crypto. I want to do this sort of thing. We haven't exactly done that inside the postcards group yet.
Oh, right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we haven't figured out a perfect call to action yet. Just like we haven't figured out if we want anybody's cell phone number to be on that postcard. Because here we are, generalized Hexicans doing generalized fundraising that goes all funds go straight into sending out postcards. But do we really highlight one particular person that we actually trust to not have a business on the backside that funnels people into that business? And we have just now marketed for that person to have a secret business that they funnel people into, so
I know what you mean. Who as you know, Matty Allen, as far as the community is concerned, I feel like that's one guy that we trust to do what's right.
Okay.
We've trusted him multiple times now, giving him money to set up conferences and things like this. And he puts it all out there for us to see. And, Matty's, shout out to Matty. where was I going with that?
What up, Maddie? Hope you're having a good time at the Bitcoin thingamajigger that you're doing in Miami. I hope you hand out the 120 mailers that I, have there for you to hand out. And also, guys, those are 2-cent mailers that are ready to be put in the mail. So just the rules are with 2-cent mail, you're not using the United States system. Instead, you're using a sovereignty being system. So don't use abbreviations of states. Don't use zip codes, because those are communications done by the United States that we are not participating in this 2-cent mailer. And instead, write out everything. Don't abbreviate road or avenue or boulevard. Write those things out. Don't abbreviate the state. Write that out. Don't use the zip code at all. Everything else is already stamped on the exterior of the envelope. And previous videos on this channel talk about that sort of thing. And then also, you're not able to send it to any of the United States bases or territories. And Washington, D.C. is one of those. You're not able to send it there. Sorry about that interruption. Thank you.
Good. Just going back to what you were saying, who would we funnel to, right? So when I was first like heavily onboarding, I would tell people about Crypto Coffee.
Okay.
Because he's got a lot of good
friends of
beginner
mine
videos.
Friends of mine love Crypto Coffee. So like some of my onboards, I just told them, hey, look at this array of people. And they pick Crypto Coffee as like this guy. I'm going to keep him around. Well,
he talks well, good looking guy. And so it makes sense. That makes sense. But, so what you're talking about funneling though. So Crypto Coffee does have a course, right?
We have to have a call to action whenever we're sending out mailers. That's what comes to my mind.
Okay.
And then whenever it is that, I'm looking for more opportunities to call to action funnels.
So, so where I'm going with this is, not saying that Crypto Coffee would do this, but he has
an affiliate thing.
He has an affiliate thing.
Yes.
So
what I've done is I've taken SJ's affiliate link and I've turned it into a QR code. And I have that in my next batch of stuff.
Okay, cool.
So where SJ is the one who gets the referral.
Cool.
So she's funded a little bit.
Nice. Yeah.
Crypto Coffee's funded a little bit. And then HEX lives on.
Well, so you were talking about though, if we had this mailer and we say we put Coffee's information on there, and you're like, now he's getting all this stuff. Potentially he could use that to funnel to his affiliate thing, right?
The issue would be really is are we marketing somebody's business? And then is it that they're going to do non-HEX things? Are they going to encourage, malice participation?
Okay. I thought you were just talking to make money. Because how I see it was like, if we were to send him to Coffee and then Coffee's like, hey, get my program, well, now he's making money off of that.
Right.
So where I'm going with this is Rags to Riches. He also made a program.
Okay.
It's free.
Okay.
Anybody can do it.
Done.
And it's the basics of crypto.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure it talks about the same thing Coffee talks about.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, I know Randy just put a program out there too. I'm not sure how basics it is.
Randy Halarski.
Yeah. But that's also a paid one.
Okay.
And so I'm telling people, Rags to Riches has a free one out there.
Okay.
Shill it to everybody. It's free. You know, people that that don't know about crypto or HEX, send them to Rags' site. Like, he's got the stuff ready to go.
The thing about courses, though, is that me sending out the mailers and paying attention to the mailers, I don't have to think about the course, and I don't have to attend the course to run the course or be in touch with the people who are taking the course. But we all kind of have it in the back of our heads as marketers. Like, if people don't pay for things, they ain't going to show up either.
Oh, well, what I mean by that was, like, if you want to send them to someone, I would say send him to Rags, because he's not making money on any of the stuff that he has to do. Right.
Yeah.
Like, and he's shown us that he's here for the community.
Right.
And
I just want people to be prompt. Like I want them to feel pressured as well. So there's like this time that's like, this is appropriate for your life right now.
right.
I don't know.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
But I totally appreciate the back and forth that we're having, and I'm not dismissing any of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just thought, personally, I haven't had the chance yet, but I'm planning on doing Rags's free thing so I can see what the material is.
Totally.
And so that I feel confident when I tell someone else to go there.
Okay.
And then I can go there knowing that they can get this information for free. They're not going to have to spend any money, because also with my channel, I am planning on maybe doing some recorded videos on simple HEX information, something that someone that doesn't know anything about HEX can come to and get a little information to know about it, how to maybe onboard and stuff like this, just some simple things. And then if they want deeper stuff, then you go to like Dollar Cost Crypto, or go to K4K, or, you know, some of these other guys are going to break these more technical things down to a deeper understanding that personally I don't know, you know. But
have you thought about shorts?
I have thought about doing some shorts too, because the shorts do get hit way more than the videos.
Many more. Yeah.
Because we're on this instant gratification society right now. They only got 2 minutes to check your thing out, and then they're on to the next thing, you know? So yeah, where can we get these, 30-second to 2-minute gold nuggets, you know?
Anybody who's doing shorts, I'd advise you to just like wrap it up and almost lie, like have it to where it's like sugar coated, you know, like people really would gain intrigue if you had it sugar coated rather than like the raw substance. Facing reality, you got any talking points? Otherwise, we might end this stream and head over to the Bitcoiners of Austin meetup.
Nice. No, not really.
Cool.
Pleasure meeting you. I followed you on Twitter, so.
Oh, awesome. Appreciate that.
Garden has a good comment here. What about having a specific date and time to the YouTube printed on the mailers? Example, first Friday for Q&As or something.
It's a nice option.
That's a really good idea. One of the ideas that I had was like a 10,000 HEX giveaway, and then have it to where all the people who participate, it's divided that 10,000 up to where it's not one person gets it.
Right,
it looks like you're going to get this huge number or something, but instead every participant gets a little bit of that.
Right.
And maybe it's one of those, you can visit a website and type in everybody's name, and then it'll do an automated wheel spin, and you see who the winner is or something. Like you could do that sort of thing live as it is that you're teaching them a little bit about what it is that they're about to receive. I think that would be really cool.
We need Pulse to drop so we can get Pulse away, not HEX. I find HEX to be pretty valuable, you know?
It's interesting you say that, and that's a common thing to say. It really is. Yeah. But I actually have only been streamlining everything towards HEX.
Yeah,
because HEX is going to be on both.
I give you props for that.
Well,
because I get it. I get where you're coming from. Because HEX is the GOAT that got us here, right?
Yeah, totally. Okay, yeah, it's the one that's lived and breathed. Yeah. But so I don't know if I've told you, but like a lot of people have said like, hey, have you thought about doing HEX mailers or HEX cards or HEX? I'm sorry, Pulse. Have you thought about doing Pulse mailers, Pulse cards, Pulse postcards, all these things? And it's just like, that's somebody else's deal to do.
Yeah, you taking the
I'm
HEX
still
one.
trying to figure this, how do we market HEX to people through the mailers? But yes, the very next thing, oh gosh, I meant to bring my latest mailer for you, so I could communicate it with you, but I don't have it. But I was just marking it up, edition number 1 is printed off on my desk at home. and I've started redlining it, you know, making edits of like, how could we streamline this? And thank you very much, Garden. It's kind of along the lines of that, of let's have a spot where you got to catch the show to be involved. And so everybody congregates to one place.
Yeah. Well, like you're
for
saying,
the
you could
event.
do first Friday, there's going to be a 10,000 hex giveaway.
Mhm.
And then, like you're saying, that flyer is going to push everybody to that first Friday. You get on stream, you have the giveaway thing. But this, you know, where you could get into some issues is if you get a person who knows nothing about crypto, who doesn't have a wallet or anything. So you won't be able to send them the hex.
Oh, I tell them to, I have a baseline of conducting this giveaway business. It's straight up. I'm going to create an HSI stake and I'm going to send it to the MetaMask wallet that you send me the address of.
Yeah, that's right. Perfect. Yeah, because then you can just send them the NFT version.
So it's already staked.
You don't have to dox your address or anything either, which is great.
And I don't have to have it to where like I'm giving anybody information that they should have not allowed anybody to see in the first place.
Right. Yeah.
You know, with the seed phrases.
All right. Yeah.
Well, cool, guys. We're going to go on over to the Austin Bitcoiners, and I'm going to get you the link to that if you want to join us. Oopsie.
So they do a live stream.
Uh-huh.
Who runs this?
A guy named I think it's Paul Snow, but that might be the name of a friend of mine.
Lol. I love the new aluminum card, by the way.
Yeah.
It's again better than the previous one. I like the slight blue colorish.
I'm going to go grab it real fast.
Where in the Netherlands are you?
I'm really close to Amsterdam.
Oh, say it again. Right outside Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I like that the front has no QR code anymore. It's just the Hex logo. That's freaking perfect. I love it.
Yeah, real clean.
Yes.
And then if you're wondering what it is, then over here in gray, it has a little chart, like up and to the right chart.
Exactly.
And then I borrowed this token bank idea, the wording. I borrowed that from my PayPal debit card.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it said something about PayPal debit, or I forgot exactly what it says, but
yeah, I like this. This looks good.
This thing's laid out pretty well. And then so after I got these printed out, I started thinking about it, and I was like, I'm going to put SJ's little referral link for Crypto Coffee. I put that in a QR code off to the side of the QR code that's there now.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
So I added to it.
Yeah, might as well just fill in that
then.
space with some more information.
And then the reason why there's a little tiny Hex logo up in the top right corner on the backside is because this is kind of laid out the same way that my Discover card is laid out. So the next version will probably have the little this little card reader strip that doesn't do anything for this card. You know, it just takes up space, and it kind of organizes it well. I think I want that to be the Hex gradient.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
And then I think I want the whole thing to turn like a lighter color, to where like, what if it was all white based? And the reason why I think that is because if these things get scratched and they're dark color, you can clearly see that scratch on there.
Sure, yeah.
So that's what I'm worried about.
Also, too, if it's white, the whiteness would like pop. If this is on the ground right there or something, the white, it will pop more, I think, around it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. But if you recall, like all the Telegram groups and all the early mailers all loved those black backgrounds or just the slightest blue tint to the darkness.
Well, but this
to
is
have that
different
juxtaposition.
application though.
It is, yeah.
Different application. So I'm just saying for this in particular application, the white might pop better because as we know, sometimes these things end up on the ground and stuff like that. And if it's a black floor or dark floor or whatever, if it's a white floor, then this is going to pop out. But, you know, just depending. I mean, it looks great, though. I like it. I like the concept, having that kind of like debit card idea, like you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this has to do with finance.
Yeah, it's representing money. It's like, hey,
yeah,
this is like the key to your financial success.
And it says it's on the Ethereum blockchain. It works 24 hours a day. Per day, you could get 0.1%. Per year, you could get 38%.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Your one token.
Amazing, isn't it?
I mean, the one thing about HEX that I think is the greatest thing ever is it's a finished product. You know, like that's one thing advantage we have over most of the crypto community. HEX is done. It's immutable code on the smart contract on the blockchain. That's like big talking points, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was telling him right when we met in this space, a conversation that I had earlier with a client friend of mine. He's asking me to continue to do some architecture work for him. And then after we're done talking business about what he wants me to do for him, he asked me, you know, how's the Bitcoin stuff going for you? Because he knows that I'm involved in crypto. And I tell him, you know, it's really well. Day after day, I'm earning interest. There are so many people that are using all sorts of systems to grow their wealth. And people have trustlessly been using this for 3.5 years, like myself.
100% uptime.
And so I told him about this stuff, and he's more interested because he's seeing it work for me. So I think, you know, we just continue to beat our drum and we continue to be successful, and people are going to look at us and be like, you know, this guy might have something going. Maybe I should listen to him.
Yeah, I've been slowly seeing that as well. I haven't worked for 16 months now, 17 months. And in the beginning, everybody thinks, yeah, he's retired from crypto. Yeah. Monopoly money. But being home all day and doing whatever I want for the majority of over a year, now all of a sudden they want to talk to you. And so how is that? Everything is down. How come you still? And then, yeah, trustless yield, baby.
Yeah, people there. Yeah, they're like, oh, so how's that crypto doing? Because everything's down. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm great.
Yeah.
Well, life's good.
Yeah, there are a few people that I say I'm in crypto, and then they go, whoo, and it's like, no, actually, it's everything's just fine.
I've been on multiple dates where I end up mentioning crypto, and that was the end of the date. Basically, I saw the downhill, right?
Yeah.
But little do they know the financial freedom that you gain from that, and you know, I feel bad for them because this is all going to come back to them later, right? I was just kind of giving them the forewarning before the CBDCs come and everything, you know. So, you know, it's fine. On to the next.
Hey, Tin Top, I have sent these aluminum cards to folks that have given me an address. So if you have a business address or whatever address you feel comfortable with, I could send it to you. Garden, I like that idea of having different codes so that participants aren't entered week after week automatically. I don't really know how it is that I would collect the information in the first place. Would I have some sort of Google form, or should I just tell them to send an email and then I'll just I'll accept only the emails that arrive in my inbox from this date to this date? You know, that would be maybe interesting. Maybe I could have it to where like everybody who gives me an email with an Ethereum address in it for this month, then that next Friday, the first Friday of the next month is whenever we decide. So if it is that you're a part of the meetup.com group that's called Crypto Dividends, that I'm running. This is supposed to be a meetup of that sort. You're welcome to place in the comments any questions you have about Hex Crypto or Richard Hart. RichardHart.com is his official website. He's the creator, entrepreneur of Hex Crypto and the coming Pulse Chain crypto. Pulse Chain is going to be a different, right now it's in testnet form, so you could participate with it, but it's a copy of Ethereum, and it's more efficient than Ethereum, and it's coming soon. And then if you haven't gathered yet, if you're new to crypto, we're earning yields. We're earning interest on our staked crypto. So our crypto bag continues to grow as it is that we do whatever we want in life. And that's what Facing Reality was just talking about. Okay, so guys, I put the link to where we're going next. It's the meet.jitsi/Austin Bitcoin meetup. That's where we're headed right now. So thanks so much for being with us. How about you sign us off?
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right. Thanks, Facing.
Welcome. Peace.
Hey, and hopefully you guys will see each other tomorrow. Hopefully he'll join us tomorrow on the
I'll try to.
Oh, nice.
Guild.
Get on this in the
Perfect.
house.
Sweet. Alrighty. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for being here. And stay long.